Hi, this is Chris McNamara, Editor-in-Chief with Smart Industry Magazine. We're here with Will Zell, CEO and founder of Nikola Labs. Will, how are you?
Chris, doing all right today. I have my quarantine hairstyle going. Actually, I think today's the first time I put any hair product in my hair for the last 3 weeks just for this interview. So,
well, that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
That's quite a
Of course,
courtesy.
my hair's busted right now and desperately need a haircut, but all good, man.
How are you? You look great. You look great. Let's jump right into it. Tell us, who is Nikola Labs and what is Vero?
Yeah, Nikola Labs is an emerging growth company. Still somewhat early stage, but we're definitely off to the races in terms of growth. We're a spin out from The Ohio State University with core technology in and around wireless energy harvesting and wireless power transfer, as well as ultra low power electronic design. Over the last few years, we've taken that technology and we've built it into a platform called Vero and have expanded our offering and our technology stack to become a full solution provider of condition monitoring for manufacturing facilities. If you look at the world of condition monitoring or predictive maintenance, basically through Vero, we are an all-in-one solution of hardware, software, installation, service, data analysis, machine learning. Basically, we've fallen in love with this space and the value that we can create for our manufacturing customers, and have tried to package as much value as we can into one offering through Vero.
Excellent. It's certainly a booming space. You just touched on your manufacturing customers there. Who are the customers? Who are the users of the solution?
Yeah, so we sell directly to the end user, to maintenance and reliability teams within manufacturing organizations. We've got about 54 manufacturing organizations as customers today. And so we've had a pretty great growth rate over the last 9 months. Companies including Eli Lilly, Worthington Industries, and several others. And what's actually great about it is, we serve manufacturers from, some of those large global manufacturers down to, 3-4 facility, injection molding type customers. So
sure.
we span, the spectrum in terms of the organizations that we serve. And what we're really looking for are early adopters of technology that, are leading and innovating in this future of, sensor-based condition monitoring.
Sure. So talk to me about condition monitoring there. What's unique about your approach?
So there are a number of different things that are unique about our approach, and I'll start with technology, then I'll kind of layer on top of it business model and service model. But first and foremost, the reason why we fell in love with this space is, what we saw at, back in mid 2017 was the beginnings of this shift from route-based vibration analysis to sensor-based condition monitoring. Where you go from getting data, once every 3 months or once every 6 months to now being able to capture data, many times per day. Sure. And one of the big problems, though, was the upfront investment that it took to actually implement this and then scale it within a facility. You were either going to spend a lot of money to wire hardwired sensors that gave you continuous data, or you're going to look at wireless sensors. But with wireless sensors, there became this big challenge around if you put 2,000 sensors into a facility and you've got to replace batteries every 12 to 18 months, like that becomes a bit of a nightmare. Mm-hmm. And so our specialty as a company, what we do really, really well, is know how to design sensors for a very long period of time. So rather than 18 months, it could be 7-10 years, if not even longer than that, just based on the application in our core capabilities. And so that was what originally attracted us into this space. But once we really started focusing there, we really just fell in love with the problem that condition monitoring solves, and sensor-based condition monitoring, of being able to help manufacturing and reliability organizations become more proactive, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like where we're at is still very early in the beginning of a transformation of reactive maintenance and reliability culture to proactive maintenance and reliability culture. And technology and leveraging technology is a great way to help organizations get there. So I mean, we just fell in love, honestly, with our customers, the complexity of systems that they deal with on a daily basis. I'm born and raised in a manufacturing community, but my mind's blown every time I walk into the facilities of our customers, just how complex their world is. And so to think that we can come in and become, a support to help them become more proactive, to help them reduce unplanned downtime. And, you get a few wins in a year under your belt in a facility, and it just becomes massive value creation.
Sure. Excellent. So let's broaden that out a little bit. Let's give me your take on the changing world of asset health monitoring in a broader sense. How is this all changing that world?
Yeah, so I think it's one of those things where, vibration analysis has been around for 30 years. We were fortunate early on to build relationships with organizations like Technical Associates out of Charlotte, who are really leaders in the space. One of our analysts on our team is on the Vibration Institute board. And so we tried to get really go deep into understanding, where vibration analysis is particularly. Now, there are other types of conditions that you potentially want to monitor, but we chose to go after, vibration and temperature sensing in our first product. And really what I think it's about is, it's really about scaling low cost sensor technology to create a significantly higher amount of data that you would never be able to get through, let's say, that route-based, the cost just isn't there to send somebody around 8 times a day to take a vibration reading. Mm-hmm. But what you can do is you've got now super low cost vibration technology, sensor technology that you can put into facilities, onto equipment at reasonable prices, getting significantly more data than you would ever get previously. And what that does through great software, the implementation of machine learning, is it almost becomes a force multiplier for the human analysts that are there. Sure. Whether it's vibration analysts that are our customers, or we also provide that service as well. You just create a significantly higher level of scale. You're removing the time investment of having to walk around just to take data. Now, it's often good to walk around and understand, especially if you're seeing an issue potentially in data, but to remove the burden of having to walk around to get the data allows you to spend more time analyzing the data and hopefully more time proactively solving issues. And again, all of this drives towards how you become more proactive, how you get, days, weeks, months ahead of potential breakdown of equipment, and you can shift to planned maintenance instead of unplanned downtime.
So this is all working toward a greater approach to predictive maintenance. What opportunity in that space most excites you? And is there a challenge that continues to linger on that front that we're all trying to address?
Yeah, so I think there are actually many challenges, right? And I think it's, you're dealing with, again, not only complex equipment, but complex organizations, right? And if you think about that desire to understand the full machine health and also be able to really predict when something is about to happen, how do you pull all of the critical data sources together in a way that is user-friendly, in a way that provides data output that you can take action on? And so, it's one of those things where, there's a ton of complexity. I kind of like it from that perspective. But what we're finding with our customers is, these again, are manufacturing professionals. They live and breathe complex systems on a daily basis. And I think it is really going through the cycles of trusting data that comes from sensors and a collaboration between this technology, whether again it's sensors or an artificial intelligence algorithm, and that balance between technology that you want to leverage for scale and the human analysis that really can understand the context of an actual machine issue. And that's the journey that we're on with our customers.
Is that trust increasing from your point of view, or do you find a growing level of trust on these insights that are data driven as opposed to gut or hunches?
It's one of those things where because we have our team of vibration analysts, right? And these are class 2, 3, 4 vibration analysts. that thankfully we've been able to recruit in who've got decades of experience. And so, that very much helps us bridge the gap of, hey, here's the output of a machine learning algorithm that is interesting, but often lacks context.
Right.
And there's got to be something in between that, because you just can't rely on that today. And you're, in my opinion, and there are, we're very much a technology company in many ways, and often technologists tout the ability to, technology solves all the problems and removes the need for human interaction. I think we're decades, if ever, away from completely eliminating the need for that analyst to really understand context and all the different variables, which is good, which is great. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Last question for you here, Will. We're kind of in an unusual period right now. As we emerge from this bigger picture, near future of manufacturing in this digital era, what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to?
So, I would say there's the hot button narratives that are happening right now while we're, in the intensity of this crisis, which is how do we, bring more manufacturing back to the United States? And there was the beginnings of that narrative, probably over the last 2 to 3 years.
Sure.
We'll see how that plays out. What I'm curious about is, and we're seeing some of our customers who are, doing some of these pretty big investments into new facilities. I'm really interested to see the output and production of facilities that are kind of built from the ground up, being a quote unquote smart facility, if you will, right? So where the latest and greatest is built in, from the ground up. Just interested to see the efficiencies that could be delivered there, and then does that equate to the U.S. becoming much more competitive, from a manufacturing perspective. So I'm obviously bullish in the space. One thing to note, and this is again an interesting thing, especially, we try to raise capital out in Silicon Valley, and it's very easy to underestimate just the absolute scale of manufacturing here in the United States. We're blessed to be in Columbus, Ohio, in the heart of manufacturing. And, there are 150,000 manufacturing facilities basically east of the Mississippi. And it's just huge and massive. And so we're very grateful to be able to serve the customers that we do. And there's just so much innovation that's happening. It's a very, very interesting time. But overall, I'm bullish that, I don't think it's going away, and hopefully manufacturing in the United States continues to increase.
Excellent. Will Zell with Nikola Labs, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Chris.
And viewers, thanks for joining us as well. As always, we advise you to go out and make it a smart day.